I'm gonna go live on Facebook too, just for the heck of it. Let's play with that screen since you can. Why not? Give me a second.
Yeah. Let's do it, baby.
Why not? What the heck? Okay. Perfect. Let's have fun. Okay. Give it a second while we stream. Just give me a sec. Just 1 second while it sets it up. And other people are still joining in.
Yay.
Okay. Awesome. Perfect, guys. Welcome. Welcome, 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 everybody. We are starting, and yay, we're starting. Okay, great.
Yay.
So we're going to Hi, everyone. We're going to spend a second introducing ourselves, and just for those of you who are just joining us now, as you can see, Lynnette's there and I'm here, or vice versa, depending which way you're looking at it. And we're going to spend a second introducing ourselves, telling you guys a bit about the program. You guys, your videos aren't on. Hi, Jan. But you can type in questions. There's on the chat box would be the easiest for us. And we'll tell you all about the core program. We're going to do questions and answers as we go. So, Lynnette, do you want to introduce yourself first?
Oh, sure. I was like reading all the messages. I was like, I'd love to meet. I was like, absolutely. Hi, everybody. I'm Lynnette Brown. I'm so excited to be here with you tonight and for this 6-part series. Divi and I have been working together for 8 years.
8 years? Yeah. Yeah.
8 years, Divi. And last year, she invited me to come out to do to teach an intuition course, and that's what has birthed this whole process. But a little bit about me, I am an intuitive. I'm a master certified law of attraction coach. I'm a Hay House author. I've spoke on the stage at I Can Do It, or You Can Do It. I can do it too, and so can you. I have been in this business. I come from a legal background and in a life where I had the golden handcuffs on, making tons of money and being miserable, and changed my life by following my heart and living my mission. And so that's what I've been doing this work for over 20 years professionally, and loving every minute of it and being successful. So that's kind of what we're here. My mission, as you know, who I am in this process, is to support and to encourage and empower you guys to have the transformation that you want, whether it's intuition, business, love, money, whatever. So that's me.
Awesome. That was so brief. So hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Divi. I met Lynnette 8 years ago, and she's been my coach and friend for that long, and it feels like longer.
Yes.
She's been a huge inspiration for me. As most of you know, I'm a family doctor by trade. I graduated about 25 years ago. My personal journey into this work took me through yoga, meditation, into intuition, to teaching mind, body, spirit medicine. And through Lynnette's help and through the help of my guides, I started coaching clients, and a lot of you are here online tonight. Whether you come to me for relationship issues, health issues, career issues, money issues, we work together and help you on that path. So I've been teaching a lot of the principles of mind, body, spirit medicine, which revolve around everything from law of attraction to self-healing, quantum mechanics, physics. All of that stuff is intermixed in my teachings. And so Lynnette's been my right-hand woman and my coach as I've been teaching this work for the last 7-8 years. And so I was always teaching clients basically about how to do what I do minus the intuition part. Because the intuition part comes to me through years and years of meditation and taking intuition courses. So last year, as the energy's been building with my own clients, I asked Lynnette to come up and teach an intuition course, and we had an amazing time. And then that gave birth to this course that we're launching in January that we'll tell you about as we go, and gave birth to this webinar series, which is actually 6 parts, and you guys are here on part 1, so welcome. And we'll tell you what we're going to do as we go. So yeah, and so it's completely interactive. And on the right-hand side, you can type in chat questions. We'll be doing intuitive pieces as we go. I'll be teaching a lot of tonight's class, and Lynnette will be helping me out as well. And as I speak with and teach, if there's pieces that you want some intuitive help on, because a lot of times when we teach, little light bulbs go off in your head. And those light bulbs, you might need just a little teeny bit of clarity, and feel free to type in, and we're both here to help. I'm 100% on board with what Lynnette was saying. After going through my own, not just health transformation, but abundance conversation transformation, relationship course transformation. I was teaching a class last night, and I said to them, if there's one thing this work has gotten me, it's gotten me a very happy family life, a home life, an amazing relationship, and everything else. And to me, that's worth millions of dollars. And so for me, it's about giving you guys those same tools and giving you the chance to step into that field and to live the life that you are here to live with all of the tools for that transformation. That's what I'm a stand for and of service to for you. So, yeah. Awesome. Thank you. So, what else do you want to say?
Kat says, exciting. Aman says, awesome. Emmy, to all the panelists, so cool. Hello from the UK. Hello, Emmy from the UK.
You joined us. Amazing. Amazing.
I know. And now everybody can see the chat, right?
Yeah, everyone can see the chat. So they can see each other's comments. So before we jump into the energy, so just so you guys know, it's a 6-part webinar.
Oh, you froze.
Oh, did I freeze? Am I still here?
No, now you're there.
Okay, cool. So tonight, it's a 6-part webinar. Tonight, we're going to be doing the energy part. Next week, on Tuesday next week, so Tuesday the 21st, we'll be doing, at 6 p.m. Pacific, we'll be doing the part on mind, body, spirit. Then the 4 after that, we're going to announce the dates as they come up, Lynnette and I, and it'll all be done by Christmas, don't worry. 4 more webinars, one on intuition, one on light body, one on money, one on creating a business, creating a successful coaching business. And so these 6 modules mirror the 1-year course that Lynnette and I are launching in January. So over the 12 months, those 6 pieces are covered. Got it? So the first 2, energy and mind, body, spirit, is usually what I teach, and it takes about 6 months to teach that. That's like principles that you apply to your life. And same with the next 4 that we just mentioned, intuition and so on. That's the next 6 months. And that's kind of how it's set up. And those are more Lynnette's babies. We help each other out. So we'll be side by side through the entire year with you guys. And during the actual course that starts in January, your cameras will be on, so we'll be able to see you. But because this is a live thing for public, we thought we'd keep it a little private. So for yourselves, for your own privacy. Anything else?
So you can eat your dinner or whatever.
And you can sit there in your shorts. Right. Perfect. Does anyone have any questions before we start? Or we're pretty good?
Yep, okay, everything clear so far.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to jump in and start teaching. So I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about what mind, body, spirit medicine is and what mind, body, spirit coaching is in relation to health, life, relationships. And tonight I'm going to be teaching 2 different processes. One that I know some of you have heard me teach before. The other one you may have not have heard me teach before. But I guarantee you, if you're hearing this the first time or the 100th time, no matter how many times I teach this, I actually learned something from teaching it, which is why I love to teach it over and over again. And as we do tonight's processes, I'm going to encourage you, because we're going to get deeper into the process over the next hour. If you're out driving or have the TV on, maybe if you don't mind muting the TV, or if you're in your car, pull over and present ourselves if that's possible, and maybe put your phone on silent, just so that we can be together through this time. So we'll just kind of set that intention for tonight, for us all to be together and to grow and to deepen our connection with ourselves. So the concept of mind, body, spirit medicine is simply this, that we have a mind that does chatter all the time, that we think of as up here, but it can be in different parts of our body. And then we have an inner voice, what most of you have heard me call our spirit voice, that intuitive, inner, quiet voice. Oprah calls it your whisper voice. And so these 2 voices are going on at all times, all day, every day. And most of us can only really hear the mind. We know that there's another voice, but we often don't know how to tap into it. And a lot of times we feel like we're on autopilot, like there's almost a rush to our lives. So we have to follow this. What mind, body, spirit medicine is all about is we have the mind that chatters, and then we have that inner being spirit voice that can also be equally as strong if we give it space to. And the body is the in-between. So when there's something going on with our body, or something's not going well in our life or relationships, in the work I teach, it's because there's a dysfunction, or a mismatch is a better word, between the mind and the spirit voice. And in order to rebalance them, we'll talk about that in just a few minutes, there's 2 steps that I have found are really helpful. One is to become conscious of what the mind is saying and be really present to it, be aware of what our emotions are, and then also to increase your spirit voice. What I've discovered in my own personal healing journey and my personal life journey is that all 3 of those things are actually not just necessary, but are key components to living an expanded life. And when we talk about the mind and the spirit, people can say, yeah, I hear that spirit voice. I get it as gut feelings, like once a year or once a month. But what I'm here to tell you is your spirit voice is actually talking to you all day, every day. And it's hard for us to imagine that, because all we really can hear is this, the mind. But the thing about the spirit voice is it's really present in the now, like in the time that we call now. It's not past and it's not future. It's now. It's right now. And it's very present. And when we're willing to slow down and listen and to connect and to be in that energy, then we can actually wake it up. And the emotions we feel, emotion is an energy in motion. Most of you heard that, emotion. Emotion is simply here to tell us one thing, and it's to tell us the alignment or the not alignment of our mind and our spirit. And I teach this all the time, and it's funny because no matter how many times I teach it, I remember and I learn every single time. So I typically have something in the middle of it. So here's my water bottle, okay? And for the water bottle is to represent any topic in your life. The topic could be your job. The topic could be your bank account. The topic could be yourself, like how you feel about yourself. And at any time, your mind is chattering, and then your inner being, your spirit, is also chattering. So imagine that my ring finger is my inner being. It's my spirit voice. And then this hand, without my ring finger, is my mind voice. So when the 2 voices are overlapped, so they're thinking the same thought about this topic, then the emotion that we feel is ease, or love, or optimism, or freedom, or joy, or that emotion. And so the spirit voice, I've said to many times to myself, unfortunately, will never change its mind. It's never changed its opinion about this topic. So even when my son's room is like a disaster, my spirit voice never changes its opinion about the topic. My mind is the only one that can change its opinion. So here's my mind, and if it's overlapped with your inner being, the same thought, then the emotion feels amazing. But as soon as the mind moves a little bit over here, then the very first emotion we might feel is a little bit of frustration. Move a little bit more, we might feel blame. Move a little bit more, we might feel anger. Move over here, we might feel rage. And move as far over as you can get, like 180 degrees opposite. The emotion that you're going to feel is fear, anxiety, depression, disempowered, powerless. And when I grew up, all I knew was that emotion, which is normal for so many of us. So normal. I think almost all of us can relate to it. And what I try to teach myself and my clients is that these are just pathways in the brain. They're just pathways. But all of us have the ability to overlap our mind to our inner being. And all of the work that I teach people is how to take the mind and bring it over here more, and how to strengthen this voice. Because when we strengthen this voice and become conscious of the emotions, then this becomes easier. But what I've also realized is it takes regular, I don't want to use the word discipline, but regular focus. Maybe if you want to call it a discipline practice, or you could call it an aligned practice, or just a practice that you'll do regularly. But that regularity the reason it's important is because those other neural pathways like fear have been practiced so long, right? anger and rage have been practiced so long. Frustration has been practiced so long. So they're really easy to pathway down, like just. And the pathways of joy and empowerment and freedom, at least I can say in my personal life, had not been practiced very long. So it doesn't take that long, but it takes that persistence and diligence and desire to start to overlap it. But I can tell you, when you start to overlap it, your life will just start to flow more. You'll have more of that freedom, more of that ecstasy. It sometimes feels like you're moving through life on a surfboard, or like everything's just flowing. And that really is the essence of mind, body, spirit medicine, is to overlap. And you can even take the word mind, body, you can even take the word medicine out of there. It's just how to connect with your divine, how to connect with who you truly are, and how to bring those voices together. And that's basically a huge essence of the program that we teach, so that you can make your spirit voice louder, get your mind over here more, and then what's happened. So anything you want to add to that? How does that feel to you guys? How does that feel, Lynnette? Where do you want to add anything?
I think that's beautiful. That's a great description, an eloquent and easy analogy. How many times have we always gone, wait, what happened? All of a sudden I'm over here. What happened? I jumped off my course. It's beautiful. The biggest thing that I have found in that work is our awareness, like you mentioned, awareness of when we hop out of it, right?
Yeah. And so for someone like me who can hop really quite easily into, not just overwhelmment, but Lynnette and I always joke, like the struggle, right? You guys know I'm a doctor. I got to med school when I was 19. I mean, that neural pathway is so deeply ingrained, just like for each of you. It's not wrong. It's just, what we chose is contrast. And it's beautiful. But the coolest thing is when we recognize it and not necessarily learn to shift it, but learn how to work with it and create new neural pathways, and we stop making it wrong. I spent so many years making it wrong. But then when we just go, oh, wow, that was actually a very helpful tool for me in my life. And then we can move with grace. Kathleen writes in, amazing. I love this surfboard feeling. She can relate. I've jumped off my course lately as well. Yeah. And it's not wrong, and that's one thing.
We do it. We all do it. That's the point of it. That's always going to be there. How else do you know you're on? How would you know light if you didn't have darkness? How would you know feeling good if you didn't feel bad? Contrast, right?
And that's been one of the most beautiful things for me, both as a teacher, because I've been teaching every week for probably about 7 years now. Wednesdays at 5:30 has been my time. And so as a teacher, but then I also have the benefit of working with Lynnette every week, 11 o'clock in the morning, my time. So I have these 2 times in the week that I'm either leading a group or working with somebody as a client, but both of them are integral for my development and keeping myself on the path, right? Because it's so easy, like you were saying, Kathleen, to kind of go, whoo, but it's just like, boom, boom, boom.
Kathleen also says, I miss those Wednesday nights.
I'm still teaching them, and we'll tell you more about the course in January in a second, because those will be lots of Wednesday nights, but on a different night. So thank you, Kathleen. Love that. So that's kind of just a brief overview of what mind, body, spirit work is. And there's another piece that I haven't spoken about, which is intuition. I get the sense to just kind of highlight that for a second. Intuition is really like anchoring and pulling the piece of spirit or the divine and holding it for someone. Because when someone's caught in their stuff, they can't, it's like they're tangled and they can't seem to kind of untangle. Do you want to speak to the intuition piece for a second, Lynnette?
Absolutely. I think one of the greatest things for me, in being an intuitive, a professional intuitive, stage otherwise, is that part of the joy in my work is being able to see that for a client who may be suffering or having a challenging time, and can see, and them knowing that I can truly see that and see, like there's a way to move beyond this. It's like having someone who can remind you of who you are divinely, who you are within, just because you're here. Right?
And that's the process. So there's processes and techniques. And again, I'm going to teach another one in a minute here. And then adding into the intuition. And so Lynnette and I will share with you over the 6 weeks that we're together. You know, it's not like we want to make mini Divis or mini Lynnettes. We want to make mini Kathleen's and mini Emmys and mini you guys that are doing it your way. But there is a growing number of people who are asking for this, who are asking for exactly what Lynnette spoke of. Yeah. So do you mind speaking to that? I'm gonna read these.
And Dawn asked, does intuition innately lead to clarity for oneself? And I would say absolutely. One of the biggest things for me is that knowing that I can connect with the divine, the I am within, you know, tapping in myself, you get that complete connection, that clarity. You learn to actually discern your yeses from your nos, right? Being really clear, like, yeah, that's a yes, but it's not a hell yes. You know, it's like, what is it? There's something there, right? And being able to dig in that. So intuition for me, like, I can't imagine my life without it. Truly, I can't imagine my life without it. I operate with it 24/7, from finding a parking place to where is this in a new grocery store. I need to find this spice. I don't even know. I'm in a new grocery store. Where do I go? Or I need to find a gift. Where do I go? Right? And it just it's just, you're tapping in. It's like, my business, where do I find those 10 new clients? Where do I find that perfect gig, right? That perfect job, whatever it is, right? How do I finish that book?
Yeah.
So to me, it's like breathing. It's essential.
It really is. And with intuition, what I have discovered is, because I know obviously Lynnette and I, and you guys, know a lot of intuitive people. And in and itself is amazing, but when added to the other principles like the laws of the universe and energy and metaphysics, it's like a full circle. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And often when you only have that piece of intuition, but you don't really understand the laws of the universe or really understand metaphysics or really understand energy medicine, it's like, the picture I keep seeing is like you've got a table with 4 legs that are balanced.
Yeah, you're just like, well, and that's what happens to so many people in this field. They get opened up, they go to an intuitive course and they become open up and they're like, okay, I'm going to do this for a living. And all of a sudden they're not grounded. They're like, how do I start a business? Right? No, you got to be grounded. You're living in a physical world.
Exactly. So I'm just going to read Emmy's comment, which I think was great. She writes, I can really relate to, it's beautiful to have contrast and clarity. Accepting contrast has been an interesting journey. I also want to have more discipline or motivation and commitment to my practice. Do you want to speak to that commitment to your practice thing? I think that's a really big piece.
That is a really big one, especially with the intuition. Well, with every aspect, right, of your life, whether you're creating your business, your success habits, whatever it is, that practice, showing up for yourself, whether it's for a massage or to take the day off after a weekend event, or that's just a little personal joke. And you know, those it's that, all of that, right?
Completely. So I'm just going to take this one step further. You guys are doing amazing. Thank you for typing in your awesome feedback as we go. So that's just a little bit of mind, body, spirit work. And the next piece I'm getting guided to say to you guys is there's a growing audience or wave of people, growing number of people who aren't just waking up, but who are being truly present to their manifestation and creation. And a lot of them aren't necessarily people who pick up all the books that I have behind me. Okay.
Yeah. All the ones that are in my boxes. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I bet you if all of us got together, we'd have almost identical bookshelves.
Right. We would.
Yeah. I had a client in yesterday who I've been working with relationship coaching on, and he's, you know, one of the top 10 chefs in Vancouver. And he's an amazing, lovely individual. But he's here, and the idea of intuition and emotions is kind of over here. But he came to me for some help, because what he said to me was, one thing I do know, Dr. Divi, what I do know is that if I don't approach my relationship from different emotions, I'm going to get myself sick. And that's just a guy who doesn't have any of the books that are sitting behind me.
That's awesome.
So the world is ready, and they're looking for help. And
they're looking for people like you guys to help them. Not just Divis and Lynnettes. They need you guys. They need your mojo. They need your energy, you.
Exactly. And you all have your own individual clients who are waiting, and they have similar stories to you, because Lynnette and I have our own stories, so we attract in people from our own energy fields, and as do all of you. So I want you to take a second to imagine that there are people who are waiting to meet you and who are waiting for that help, because the whole idea of this work that we teach is that it's an immersive journey for yourself. And then as you self-heal and emerge and get yourself in the immersion journey for yourself to transform your life, then you'll be present for other people who are ready to do the same.
Exactly.
It's pretty powerful.
I love that. Christina Langston says, I got it, Lynnette.
Okay.
Good.
And I'm going to ask a really good question. And I'll let you get this one. Do you think we are chosen for this work?
Well, chosen being that you chose this. I mean, your soul, your I am within you. You chose your expression. Now, here I'm going to I can get really deep into this, but the conversation being, we're all perfect attributes of Source, but we all have different talents, right? Like there's an artist who's you can stand in front of their art and can bring you to tears and move you beyond words, right? That's a talent. That's a gift. That's bringing people to the divine, right? So not everyone is necessarily meant to be like a coach, but everyone has within them their intuitive abilities. Everyone. It's just like anything else. It needs to be exercised and practiced. Did that answer the question, Divi?
I think it does. I want to add to that. So a lot of people will take my courses and take your courses and take our course who don't necessarily want to become coaches, but want to immerse this work in their own lives, so to deepen their relationship with themselves. And with that information, they can take it and add it to, say, their Reiki business or their book business or their acting gigs or whatever they're up to.
Or their retreat business or their, right?
Exactly.
Or their art, right?
Exactly. So 2 other comments. Emmy writes in, so exciting, that's true. Emmy is traveling right now through Europe. And she's writing that there are so many people hungry to learn more about all of these wonderful teaching. I've met many of them traveling. Thank you, Emmy. And I just have a client right now who's somewhere in South America. He was in Ecuador last week, and I was working with him. He says, Divi, every time we have a session, I get off the call and I meet 6 people who want the same information, right? So all over the world, Emmy, all over the world.
He's being called to lead.
And then Rhea writes in, silencing everything around us to tune into what we are meant to do is the challenge.
Ooh. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that is, and I'm not sure, is that a question or?
It's more of a comment, but I think it's a question as well. And she says it's both a question and a comment.
Oh, both. Okay. Silencing everything around us to tune into what we are meant to do is the challenge. Okay. So I could see how in the beginning it might be a challenge to tune in the beginning. But when, like Divi was saying earlier about the practicing, once you start making that connection and start tapping in, turning on, as Abraham talks about it, right? Tuning in, tapping on, turning on, all that good stuff. It's like, it comes to a point where it's really just flipping a switch. For me, it's just that quick. Now, I've practiced it, right? I've practiced it. I've got, all my, all the stuff that we'll talk about in the intuition side of the course, I've gotten all that stuff out of the way. So I could get why it could be perceived as challenging in the beginning, but the more that you connect, the more the easier it will be.
Yeah. And I think, I'm gonna just add to that. We'll do Justina's in a second, but Ray, I think that's a really great point. And I've been doing it a little bit less time. Lynnette's we just have a teeny age gap, so she's got a few years on me. And my answer to that would be, as if we're willing to refocus and come into the now, and just it's like that conscious decision to go there, and definitely I can't tell you all day every day am I tuned in, tapped, and turned on. You're not supposed to be all day every day. That's contrast, right? But it's that willingness to tap back in, and what I've discovered for myself, at least, the more often we do it, the more often that it's easier to get to. So hope that helps. This next comment is awesome. It's from Justina. When we were speaking about coaching and practitioner, she wrote, "This is definitely me. I don't necessarily want to become a coach per se, and I completely respect and love that. But I need a closer relationship completely. I need a close relationship with myself, as well as to be better, fully there for my family and loved ones." And Justina, that's actually why we set up this course. And if you ask some of the other clients who are on here, like Lorraine, Amy, Ian, Jan, a lot of you guys started with me, and a lot because I love to just teach this work. And I love to teach this work predominantly because, as most of you know, like, I'm in my second marriage, nothing right or wrong about that. But about 2 or 3 years into my second marriage, I saw the same stripes as my first. And if I did what I did my first, but the second time I had a kid, so it was like it's harder to just get up and run, right? And so, but for me, Justina, I took on this work, and Lynnette will tell you, I took on this work not to actually coach people. I took on this work to not run like I did the first time, not because I was trying to make a family for my kid, but to create and evolve myself. And so, Justina, the way we teach the course is more of an immersion for you. The way we approach this work is more as a journey for you. So, yeah, do you want to add to that?
No, I think that's absolutely perfect. That's absolutely perfect.
Exactly.
And one of the things, Justina, if there's anything, if I never ever meet you, one of the things I leave you with is the most important aspect that you have is you, and your connection with you, and that divine connection with the I am within you, baby, knowing that the divine is pulsing you, breathing every bit of you, that's all you need. So
completely. Christina writes in, personally, I think we're all coaches. In everyday conversations, we're always there for our family and friends and strangers, providing listening and coaching.
Like, also, did you see the one, somebody said, Dawn, I feel like I've been a slow learner, learning the concepts and loosening the grip on what should be. Totally get that, Dawn. Totally. And that's part of, those neural pathways that Divi was talking about earlier. Part of that is like unlearning what we trained ourselves to do so that we could please the people around us and receive their acknowledgement so that we would know we were valuable and worthy.
Completely.
Let's see. It's like creating new patterns of thought. Exactly, Raya. Exactly. Okay. Story resonates for me. I'm grateful for your teaching. Did you see that? What Justine said to you, Divi? Yes, your story resonates for me. I'm very grateful to you and for you teaching this.
Oh, thank you, Justina. That's sweet. Okay.
And did you read what Christina Langston wrote?
Yeah.
Coaches. Oh, you did.
Yeah,
okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, Christina, I agree. Yeah.
I agree totally. So what I want to jump into next, since we're doing the Week of Energy, most of you know this concept, but I'm going to spend a few minutes teaching it, and I'm going to take you into I never call it nothing's a simple process, but a process in a second. And so if you don't have a pen and paper, if you could grab one, that would be awesome. But it's a relatively simple concept, and most of you know it. We're just energy. We're always in vibration, okay? but it's the consciousness to what we're vibrating that's super important. I was teaching to somebody on the call this week, and you know who you are, Sharon. I was teaching the concept that, you know, we can either be going downwards, you know, going into anger, overwhelmment, rage, fear. Nothing wrong with that. Just momentum. Nothing wrong. Or we can, and then the thing is, when we're starting to go down, what we want to learn is techniques to kind of flatten it a bit, so we can kind of break that momentum, as it's called, but not to stay flat, but then to start to move upwards. Got it? And what I have found in myself and teaching this to so many people, it's people know how to go down quite quickly, right? Just turn on TV and we can go down in a second. You know, walk outside downtown LA, I'm joking, go down in a second. But
listen to the news for 5 seconds.
Exactly. There's a couple keys that I've noticed. One is to observe it, like, oh, okay, I'm going down. Step one. Step two is to kind of think, okay, what process or technique can I do right now to stop this going down? So we're going to practice a couple techniques right now. And then the third part is, how do I go up? If any of you have listened to the Abraham Hicks work, they say over and over again, and I know this is true, one of the greatest things that breaks momentum is sleep. You go to sleep at night, and then when you wake up in the morning, there's a gap between when you actually wake up and open your eyes and when your first thought is. So there's actually a gap there, okay? What most humans do is their very first thought is what they were thinking the night before, and it feels like there's no gap. But because you've actually broken momentum going downwards, if you can wake up in the morning and start your process first thing as soon as your first thoughts come in and actually start to move upwards, then you can actually leave home in a different vibration than when you were going down. So in a second here, I'm going to take you into a really simple process to set your vibration for the day. And then once you've set your vibration for your day and you start to move upwards, the whole idea of vibration, as you all know, is what we're vibrating is exactly what law of attraction says comes in. And I don't like to use the word comes in because then people are like, oh my God, what am I bringing in? It's just what is occurring. Like it's, you know, I think of it like a mirror. So this is like everything out here is a mirror to in here. Everything out here is a mirror to in here. So even the contrast, Emmy, that you're speaking about is always a gift because it's just showing me something that, okay, like can I just tweak that a bit and what can I see next? So in this process, we're going to spend a few moments that I'm going to encourage you all. I mean, what day is it? It's Thursday today. So Thursday, my encouragement is we get back together on Tuesday, which is so awesome. So maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, if you can practice this process first thing in the morning and just see what happens and maybe play around with it all day and just start to notice how things start to shift, okay? So again, if you're driving, pull over, and most of you are sitting behind your computer or laptop. So if you don't mind, just gently close your eyes and just connect inside. We're going to go into a mini meditation and mini process. Have your piece of paper and pen nearby. You can put on some music here in the background. So just close your eyes and just center in your breathing. Take a breath in and a breath out. Just breathing in and breathing out. Let your body fall into a place of softness and connection and breath. Just breathe in and out. Belly rises and belly falls. During this mini meditation, if your mind starts to wander, that can be perfectly normal. But as it does, just see if you can notice the thoughts and gently with consciousness, bring yourself back into this moment right now. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Take an inhale, and now move into the exhale. Belly rises and belly falls. Start to synchronize that low, slow flow of breath to this moment right now. Being centered, connected, and present. On your next breath, take yourself into a very special place. This may be a place in your own home, a place in nature, or a place from fairy tales. The most important thing about this place is that it is safe and comfortable. You feel comfortable and safe. If more than one is coming to mind, allow yourself to choose one of them. Take a breath in and breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and out. Start to notice this place with all of your senses. Notice the colors. Feel the air as it crests against your skin. Feel the ground underneath your feet. Smell the aromas in your safe and comfortable place. As you look at this place, start to notice, what season is it? Is it summer, winter, spring, or fall? What is the temperature? What are you wearing? What do you have on your feet? In your safe and comfortable place. Start to notice, are you alone or is there someone here with you? As you look around your safe place, begin to notice, is there anything that needs to be added to make it feel more safe and more comfortable? Or something that needs to be removed? Go and make the changes. And settle yourself in your safe and comfortable place. Just take a few breaths in and out. Now, staying centered with your eyes closed, just notice what emotion you're feeling. Just feel it. And where is it in the body? Once you identify that emotion, without rushing, just gently pick up your piece of paper and pen and write down the emotion. And then after writing down your emotion, close your eyes again and feel that emotion in your body. See if you can make that emotion a little bit bigger. Just center in that emotion. And if you sit in that emotion for a few minutes, you'll notice a thought will come in. Stay in that emotion and allow that thought to emerge. When the thought emerges, go ahead, when you're ready, gently open your eyes and write down that thought. There's no rush at all. Just keep breathing. And then after you've written down the thought, close your eyes once again and settle into your energy body. Settle back into your meditation and feel your body again. What emotion are you feeling? This might be exactly the same emotion. And go ahead and write down the emotion. So right now you've got 2 emotions and a thought on your page. Read your second emotion. Close your eyes and settle into that feeling of the second emotion. Take a few breaths. Stay centered in that emotion and notice when the thought comes in. And when the thought comes in, go ahead and write the second thought down. There's no rush. Take your time. You might be on the first thought, first emotion. You might be back in the meditation. It does not matter. And then your next step, you can guess it. After you've written your second thought, close your eyes again. Settle into your body. What emotion are you feeling? And go ahead and write the emotion. And then same thing. After you write the emotion, feel it. And write the next thought that comes in. Continue this path of feeling the emotion and thought for about 2, 3, 4, 5 cycles. There's no rush. It might be the same emotion over and over and over again. And that's perfect. Just breathe. If you're ever feeling that the emotion is going downhill, go back to the meditation. Go back to that place in the meditation. Go back to the safe place and start from there again. Just keep going, guys. 4 or 5 cycles of thought and emotion. My voice is going to quiet as you take this on, and we'll connect in a few moments to see how you're doing. Good, guys, really good. Do one more cycle. Nice. Good. Amazing. Awesome. And before we finish this exercise, take a second and check in how you're feeling in your body. Reread your paper to yourself for a minute and close your eyes and center one more time. And then when you're ready, reemerge into the room. Maybe share with us, if you don't mind, how you're doing. Type into the box. Let us know how you are. And as you're doing that, I'm going to share with you the idea of that exercise. So I'll give you guys a second to type in, but basically with that exercise, if you do it first thing in the morning, you're setting your vibration for the day. You're setting your vibration. I used to do this all the time. It was such a powerful exercise. And I would take the piece of paper, I'd fold it up, and I'd put it into my pocket or in my purse so that paper had the energy of the exercise. And so during the day, I would carry it around. Yes, go ahead.
Kathleen said, I've cleared the low vibrations I had going, headaches, sinuses, hurting, pain, fear, stomach aches. Now, after a few times, it's all cleared. I feel healthier, confident, more certainty. Love this. Yes, thank you for this. Love it. And then Dawn said, that's so great, Kat. And then, it's Kathleen, I think. And then Dawn says, excellent, the best memories. And Aman says, safe. I'm ready. Prayer, love, release, move forward. I cleared a pain in my left breast.
Way to go. Way to go. And then Nicole wrote, before that I was feeling anxiety and fear, and now I'm feeling expansive and connected to all. Oh, that's so juju. Nicole's favorite word is juju. Yes.
And just that little bit of moment, a little bit of focus.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of focus. So that's like, we only did that for, I think, 7 minutes. And I know it felt like forever, right? But so the idea of that exercise is you do it in the morning, fold it up, take that paper with you, and that paper has an energy. And then the whole idea is, for me, when I was first starting this work, is it would teach me and tell me, okay, that's kind of like a set point, if you want to call it that, and then where and what triggers me out, And somebody earlier was saying they find it hard to recalibrate or settle back in, but through the year course that we'll take together, we're going to teach you, and when I say we, I mean we, will teach you exercise and process, because like we said, we're not meant to do this alone. We're not living on an island alone. We're meant to do this with love and connection and with support. And so that's just one small little exercise that really can significantly change. And then from that vantage point, you'll notice things when you kind of do stuff that's so, call it sub or unconscious, that's just old habit, right? I know that there's some comments coming in. So
yeah, Emmy says, feeling very safe and comfortable, beautiful awareness of body sensations, thoughts, emotions, and the pervading peace and grace. Fear somehow transformed to grace. Haha.
Awesome. This is Chantel. Chantel's next.
Okay.
Hi there, ladies. I don't if this is appropriate or not to share with the group. So if you think so, please do.
Okay. So hold on, guys.
Well, they can already read it.
It's on the group already because it's on the chat, right?
You're so sweet. So when I was taken to the beautiful, quiet place, I was on a hammock somewhere, hot, and then it turned into a vacation in Costa Rica. I had with a friend of mine who since then took their own life. I couldn't get out of the thought about her. What is this telling me?
Well, for one thing, do you want me to take that?
Yes. Why do you think I went to you?
I noticed that pause is like, you go.
I caught here.
I kind of got the vibe. So Chantal, I don't know if you were on the call earlier, today's the anniversary of my mom's transitioning, right? And so I totally get that. And when you have a vision of someone that's close to you that's transitioned and they come in, they're holding that space with you. Your friend, is right there saying, you're in the right spot. Keep going. It's like there's a deep, deep soul connection. And I also keep hearing that that the grief of their passing, like don't let that stop you, like to keep going.
Yeah, I keep hearing the word safe and love. Keep being safe, love, I'm safe.
Yeah.
So I get to feel it. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody else writes in, I felt sad and alone, and now I'm feeling loved and supported. Love that meditation. Okay. And Bonnie writes, I enjoy the feeling of having contentment and confidence while doing this. And then Justina wrote in, this exercise was very eye-opening. One of my emotions was intense grief as well, but I ended the process with joy. Yeah. One of the reasons, go ahead.
Well, I was like, just in that moment when you can make that, when you can allow, not resist what you're feeling, not resist that grief, not resist that hurt or anger or whatever that space, that wherever X marks the spot, right? Not resist it, but just allow it, and then to direct and move into that space of love. They can't coexist.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's magic.
Really is. And one of the other reasons I teach this, I think it was Justina who typed that in, is because most people, they have their emotions and they thought, and they don't realize how they're actually connected. You know, we think thought, emotion, like how do they connect? But what I've really found is if I can set the emotional set point and then allow the thoughts to come in. Remember we were talking about, I think Dawn had asked about intuition, and I said, intuition is marvelous, but without the other laws of the universe, intuition is like a wobbly table.
Right.
This is really one of the many techniques that we'll teach you over the year to cement the laws of the universe. And the laws of the universe are best practiced, in my experience, in groups, because then we can share and move, you know? And so when we cement the laws of the universe, then we can see the direct connection between emotions, the thoughts that come in, and really get comfortable with our claircognizance. At least that's been my experience. So then Rhea writes in, anxiety and busy mind, to start mind racing to many places, all over, hard to quiet and go within. My peaceful place was where I need to take myself. Feel like I need to trust the direction of my life and studies and new business, being aware and not tucking emotions away. Yeah.
Good idea, Rhea. Don't tuck them away, baby.
Yeah.
They're meant for, like Divi said earlier, the energy in motion, right? It's just energy. And when we hold on to it, like we don't need anybody to see it, you start having pain.
So, there's more. I'm curious to hear tips on how to stay in that space while going through a really stressful period of life.
Oh, look at that. Like, you mean selling a house, buying a house, moving in 2 weeks, and running a business and working for yourself, and kids all over the place. You know what that is, Nicole? It is truly practice and the commitment to you to want to be in that space. Sometimes it really is working with our neural pathways, because we're so trained to not feel good about ourselves, to not feel good. And so when feeling good comes along, we're like, oh, we're waiting for the other shoe to drop. All this good stuff. I start having all these clients and all this stuff starts happening, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Nicole, I would agree, Lynnette, it's really practice and knowing that the one that I keep getting for you is like the divine, that getting into that connection to the divine, because that's the truth with a capital T, and trusting, and really knowing.
And being part of that union, like it's a relationship. Your relationship with yourself, your relationship with the divine, it is a relationship just like anything else. And just like your marriage or your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your partner, your kids, if you do not put time and energy into that relationship, you're getting bupkis out of it. Right? So, right? If you build it, they will come.
And then the last question was, Kathleen, right, so how do we unlock these emotions, the negative ones? Right, Lynnette, right. Yeah, thanks. How do we unlock the emotions? Awareness that they're there, not pushing them away because of energy, tapping back into love, and seeing that they're just messages, that they're not wrong, they're not bad, and to just be with them. And that actually lets them move. Freeze the stress.
So yeah, I agree 100%, Divi. It's that I always like to call it X marks the spot. It's just, this is just where I am. It doesn't mean anything. Right? It's just, this is where it is, and it's like I can choose what pool to dive in at this point, love or fear.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay. And not to take it seriously. Exactly.
Yeah, not to take it so seriously. Exactly.
Remember that. So as we kind of wrap up our first webinar, I think, right? So we kind of went through, just to kind of recap. And yes, emotions are messages. That's right, Bonnie. So just to recap, we kind of talked about two main things tonight: mind and spirit, and our emotions, then what they're within them. And then also kind of setting your, I call it setting your vibration on purpose, like waking up in the morning and then kind of going right into that process and having it on a piece of paper. And, you know, those are just a couple of simple processes. We teach so many more. I think in the binder of the mind, the mind, body, spirit, and the energy, there's about 40 something or 50 something processes. We taught 2 of them tonight. We'll teach some more next week. We'll teach a couple more next week on Tuesday when we do mind, body, spirit module. So I'm so excited to teach that and play with you guys again. So that's next Tuesday at 6 p.m. You just come back to this page. Do you want to talk for a second about the course, or do you want to talk for a second about the course?
Are you guys interested, or would you rather wait and hear about it? Although I have to say, Lorraine says I have a copy of the emotional guidance skill taped on my kitchen cupboard. So.
Perfect, girl.
Yeah. Girl.
Kathleen writes in, yes, I'd like to hear more about the course.
Oh, I was like, yes to that.
Justina wrote another thing about the course. Okay, I'll start. So it's a year course. It starts January. I think we said January 15th. I don't remember. January. Oh, January.
Yeah.
Mid-January it starts. And it's 12 months long. And 99% of it can be done online. There's 3 days that are immersion that is done in person with both of us. And that's when we do the advanced intuition module, when you learn how to do intuitive readings with another person, so it's live. But talking about the 12 months is basically there's 6 modules over the 12 months. The energy module, which is what we're talking about tonight, mind, body, spirit module. I teach that. That's kind of my, when you think of a cookie and a dog, that's my, I love that stuff.
That's her specialty.
That's my specialty. That takes me about 6 months to teach, because it's very much applied. Like it's applied. You come back the next week, it's like, happen. You come back next week, And so Lynnette and I are going to hold a container for all the ahs. Okay?
Exactly.
And that's so basically over the year, just so you guys know, we meet 3 weeks of every month online. Okay? Then we meet for 3 days in the intuition course. Then the other 4 modules are advanced intuition, I mentioned that one, light body, money, right? If you want to talk about that one, and advanced business. Do you want to talk about those 4 a bit?
Sure. So that's my cup of tea. That's my specialty. Like, I love the money. Well, Divi and I both do money, but it's like a money and creating the business and the intuition. My whole thing is intuition. So with the intuition immersion experience, the intuition course is going to be in person, 3 days, and you'll work with Divi and I and everyone in the course, and it'll be hands-on 3 days. It'll be retreat-ish. It will be set up as a retreat, and it is an incredible experience. It's an amazing experience. And so we'll also, besides that experience, we'll also address other intuition practices, how to bring intuition into your life, whatever it is, whether you are formally coaching, or you're a therapist, or you're a doctor like Divi, how she started off in the beginning with her intuition stuff, with her medicine and that sort of stuff. And then we'll cover money, which is very important, because if you're going to work for yourself, if you're doing this work, no matter if it's this work professionally or whatever you're doing in the world, money is an essential tool to have. And it's a great tool. It's a spiritual tool, and everyone should have tons of it. And that's what we're going to be teaching, how to teach your clients to be abundant as well. And then the business course is all about how to start your business, what to do, all of the aspects of getting started in your own practice, whether it's coaching. Well, we're going to speak to the coaching aspect. Now, well, our private businesses, the way we work, that sort of thing.
So if you're like the whole course, like I can tell you, the whole course is actually set up to be a healing year for you, an immersion into your soul, into who you are. Okay.
Exactly.
And many of you will come out and start coaching, like you'll have the tools to coach, but you may choose not to. Like Lynnette said, when I first started doing intuition, it was to add to my medical business. It was to make my personal life easier. I never, like when I went, I took 3 intuition courses with no plan to ever get out and do an intuitive reading. Okay.
Right.
It's kind of funny, right? Now I do that. And what I've discovered is that when people actually start to immerse for the year, because I like I said, I've been teaching this for a long time. And when you actually immerse in the work for that long, what starts to happen is everything starts to change, everything. So it is geared towards coaching. And the other thing that we forgot to mention was, if you do plan to coach, like get out there and have clients and trade money and all that kind of stuff, then we also will mentor you for 10 sessions. So if you have clients, great. If you need clients, we'll send you clients. No, that part's easy. But you'll have 10 mentor sessions. So you'll work with clients, you'll record them, we'll talk about how it went and so on. We'll see what process you used, what happened, and that'll like deepen your strength and your awareness and your knowing that you can do it. Okay. And
also Divi, they're wanting to know, the people who are in your 6-month program right now, they're wanting to know what is the second 6 months different than what we already have completed.
So, okay, let me explain that. So, so how it works is you guys who started with me in October, you guys will be finished in about March, and then I will carry you through personally until about June, when the group who starts in January is ready for you. Does that make sense? And then if you wish to join the second 6 months, you can join, because they're learning the same thing I'm going to teach January to June.
Oh, I gotcha.
Does that make sense? Are you with me?
So wait, I'm kind of confused. So you're going to carry them to June. What does that mean?
So because they'll finish a few months before this group before this group is ready. So this group starts January.
Right.
I'll be done teaching my stuff in June with them. Like mind, body, spirit, and energy work. So
you mean with the new group in January, you'll be finished in June?
With the group in January goes to December, right? But the MBS and energy modules will be done in June. Like those 2 modules.
Right.
And those are the 2 modules that my current group are learning.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So when they're done, if they want to join the 1 year, they can.
So how are they going to do, what's the price going to be?
So the price is, because the next question is cost. Oh, you're so cute.
I'm like, I'm kind of with you on that one. Well, then and then all of a sudden, 6 months, all these new people are here.
For the last 6 months, for the intuition, light body, the money.
And the intuition.
Yeah. So they will pay the total. So the cost, the total thing is $12,000. And then there's payment plans. And if you look on the screen and scroll to the bottom, the payment plans are there. And I should have them in front of me, and I don't. So you can do it in 2 payments, 12 payments, or 18 payments. And the 18 payments is 18 payments of $777, like monthly. 12 payments is just over $1,000. It's written out there. And then 2 payments is on the screen. 2 payments is $6,100, if I'm not mistaken. So I apologize, I don't have it in front of me right now. And then in terms of, to answer Chantel and Haley's question, you would do the $12,000, take away the $5,000 you paid for the intuition, because you would just come back and mentor that, because they've already taken it, right? The intuition course. Lynnette, you look lost.
I'm kind of am. That's okay. Go.
Okay. God, I love you. This is why we get on so well. It's so great. So Chantel, it's $12,000 for the whole course minus the $5,000 you paid for the intuition course, right? Because they did that. And
minus, what about if they're in the 6-month course?
Minus what they paid for that too.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So they would be 12 minus 5 minus
28, which is they've already paid me, and so that's the difference.
So they wouldn't attend the intuition course then?
No, but they can. Remember how we talked about they can come back and
we talked about maybe mentoring, right?
Yeah, because they've already done it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Are you cool with that, Lynnette?
Yeah. Well, I think we talk about that more, but does that answer Chantel?
Gotcha.
How did intuition fit in? Does that gotcha? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that include the intuition from Whistler?
Yes, it does, Kathleen. Yeah, it does. And Chantel, right? Yes, ma'am. She's got it.
Okay, good.
Okay. Kathleen writes, okay. All right. Phew. Okay. I know I got hot. So I know a lot of you guys are interested, which is awesome. We do have limited space. So if you want to register, you can do a deposit, but come back on Tuesday. Because Tuesday.
Don't not come back. Even if you're like, okay, this is crazy too expensive, or you have a money conversation, because when we get to the money module, we'll address that. I will address that. I'll give you a process, right? And to have you create that. So, don't get confused too, because some of these folks have, they did the intuition course. They're doing this, Divi's beta testing. Don't get confused by all that. Just realize that you're in the perfect spot. And if you're feeling called, if you're feeling a pull, let's go for it. Let's work it out. We can figure it out.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, please don't be confused. I've been teaching for so long that I've had clients who've come and done a lot of work with me. So like Lynnette said, we're doing a 6-month course right now, which is the 2 parts, but don't worry about that. So come back, because on Tuesday, we're going to do mind, body, spirit, and then we'll announce the other dates as we go. So I just want to check in if there's any other comments or questions. But before we wrap up, how do you guys feel? Like, how are you feeling right now? Where are you guys at? Go back into like that piece of paper, go back into that energy, and let me know how you're feeling before we wrap up. Okay.
I want to do this.
I'm energized. I know, it's crazy, isn't it, Kathleen? I totally hear you. I feel excited. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Divi and Lynnette. Nice to be along tonight. Aw, so glad you're here. Lorraine, I'm feeling excited too.
With my tribe kisses. Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome and centered. Thank you, Sharon. That's so sweet.
Oh, good.
So happy we found you guys. Thank you, Justina.
Yes, Justina. It's so great to connect with you.
Yeah. This is exciting. Thank you, Bonnie. I know it's whenever I teach it feels like I've got tears, because I'm just like, wow.
Nice to meet you too, Dawn.
Oh, thank you, Christina. Awesome. And I'm excited for Tuesday. Awesome, Justina. So Tuesday, 6 p.m., same page, and we'll just have fun then.
Yeah, and we'll probably, Divi and I haven't, of course, we're trusting this mission and this divine mission we've been given, and so we're dancing with it, right? And it'll probably, after Tuesday, not Thanksgiving for us here in the U.S., but it'll probably be every Thursday after that, right, Divi?
Yeah, I think that works for you. Yeah. So we'll just go Thursday.
Just so that you guys can plan, and this will be recorded too. So, even if you're not considering taking the course, just come be in the energy. Come connect and get some tools to propel yourself forward, to move you forward with your work.
And feel free to share this with people, because you'll be surprised that you'll share it with somebody and they'll be like, oh my God, I needed that little piece, right? So.
And then they're going to come to you for coaching,
exactly.
Right? They're going to say, hey, you sent me to this. What do you think about this? So boom, right?
6 p.m. is a tough time with all my little ones. I know, but we're going to record it, Justina. We're going to record it.
Yeah.
We will. On different time zones. I hear you, sweetie.
Yeah. Here too, because it's 9 o'clock here in the U.S. I mean, in the U.S. Yeah, in the U.S. It's here in Texas. It's getting close to getting late.
So we're good? Awesome.
Abracadabra. Yeah.
Is that what that says?
So it is. Yeah, Kathleen.
Awesome, guys.
And if you guys, hopefully you guys aren't opposed to having fun and being playful around this. I hope you understand we're taking this all seriously, but we're all about having fun and being light and being loved. So it's what it's all about. So thank you for being so generous. Appreciate
awesome,
it.
Guys. Have a lovely night, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Bye, guys. Love you all. Love you, Divi.
Have fun. Enjoy it.
Awesome.
See you guys. Have fun.
Bye, guys. Love y'all.